Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Healthy Living event sponsored by the Juice Plus community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carol Turnbow. I'm a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I'm also a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a mama. I'm a CrossFit coach. I am a CrossFit athlete, and my passion is nutrition and teaching people that food really does heal the body. Tonight, you're going to be hearing from myself and some of my teammates. We've all joined on a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And I'm going to start tonight by introducing our product line. Our product line is simple and will continue to be simple because it's food. It's food that our bodies need on a daily basis. Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's an amazing concept. I'm going to start tonight by showing you our tri-pack, our fruit, vegetable, and berry blend. These three blends are 100% plant-based all the way down to the capsule. They're better than organic, non-GMO, picked at the peak of ripeness, and they carry an NSF seal of approval. And what that means that is what is in the product is on the label. So for instance, this is our berry label. And if you read the label, I'll read it to you. It shows that there's raspberry, bilberry, blueberry, cranberry, pomegranate, grape, blackcurrant, blackberry, elderberry, artichoke, and cocoa in this product. My favorite part about our label is it carries a nutrition label. Nutrition labels are reserved for food. And like I said earlier, Juice Plus has figured out how to put food in a capsule. So that's what you're getting when you're taking the Juice Plus products. We also have a full spectrum of plant-based omegas, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. This product is also completely plant-based all the way down to the capsule. We all know that we should be getting our omegas from, or omega-3s for fish oil. A lot of people take fish oil, right? Well, what Juice Plus has done is they cut out the middleman, which is the fish. The fish eat algae to get their omegas from. So we've taken our product and made a full blend of omegas using algae oil, pomegranate seed oil, tomato seed oil, and some more oils as well. We also carry our complete protein powder. It comes in chocolate and vanilla. Best way to start your day was with I do it every day, a complete shake, and I swallow my capsules. I am pretty lazy about eating in the morning, so I just feel good that I've already got all of that in me first thing in the morning. We also have a new protein powder called Perform, where you get more grams of protein per serving, and I typically take that after or during my workout. So I love the Juice Plus shakes. Last but not least, we have, it's called a tower garden. It's an aeroponic growing system where it waters itself, it lights itself. You can grow it indoors, you can grow it outdoors. Our tower garden is amazing. I live in Indiana, it's still chilly here. We're still fighting between rain and snow, and I have fresh veggies that are in my hallway, and I go pick fresh veggies and herbs all the time. I love eating off of my tower garden. So if you haven't heard about it, talk to the person that invited you to this call, because it's really an amazing product. Tonight we have an amazing lineup of speakers. Lolli Leeson is an international marketing director with the Juice Plus company, and she's brought some people from her team to come and share their product story and their business story, and just to let us all know why they love Juice Plus. Lolli, welcome to the call, and we'll let you go ahead and share.
Thank you, Carol. Again, I'm Lolli Leeson, and I want to tell you, I got started in this about 16 years ago, and what astounds me when I think back on my journey, in 2007, okay, so that's 15 years ago, I went to a talk by a food historian, and her name was Dara Goldstein, and she was the editor of Gastronomic magazine, and she studies food history, food culture, and she was lecturing, and she said something really profound that has stuck with me all these years. And she said, every decade leaves a legacy, in food culture. And she said, this decade's legacy will be remembered as the decade of awareness. And people are starting to question what's on their plate, where does it come from, and is it safe and good to eat? And, don't you agree that this conversation is long overdue in our society? And, we get to be at the forefront in this company in what we're doing, which I love, is that we get to be in the forefront of this awareness that's really growing louder and louder by the minute, as many, I think, in this country are questioning, what is vibrant health and by whose standards. And our dietary choices are really, they have become a driving force for change in the world. And so I start with that because I just feel like more than ever, we are in the right place at the right time with the right company, really setting the standard in nutrition education. And certainly, there's a lot of people out there pushing this message forward. But, I love being part of this community, for being a cohesive whole in this message. We come from so many different walks of life, but we all come together, around this cause of pushing this message forward, and you can't have enough of us. So I just want to start with that. And I first heard about Juice Plus in 2006, from a dear friend of mine who's on the call tonight, Pammy Shepley. And it made sense to me because at the time, my kids were 12, 10, and 5, and I was so frustrated. My kids were not eating nearly the rainbow diet I put in front of them. And my son struggled in school, definitely had, attention issues. And, some of this was, his journey and heredity, but a lot of it, when I look back, it was, lack of nutrition that could really help him. And the situation just completely stuck in my craw because I went to culinary school and I loved to cook, and I knew better. But even though I was serving fruits and vegetables to my kids, I was giving in to the stuff, right? The potato chips and the dips and the cakes and the shakes and the chicken nuggets and all those things. And all I could get into my son was a frozen waffle or, some gross cereal with the milk turned pink. And he just didn't want to have breakfast. I don't know if, you have 12-year-olds out there, but they'd rather sleep than eat breakfast. And once we started in on this Healthy Starts for Families, which is a program that is free for children ages 4 through college, if a parent or a grandparent, aunt, uncle sponsors them. And so what happened is this conversation started to shift in our family as well as our health. And I absolutely loved the education from the doctors. That was huge for me. I thought, oh my gosh, if I didn't know this information, other moms didn't know it either. And I really felt that it gave me way more fortitude to kind of, stand up and say, no, I'm starting to wean off of these kinds of foods and bringing in healthier foods. So I really looked at the product as a catalyst, a tool that really, was this catalyst to start getting my awareness and our health snowballed in the right direction. And what I noticed is that I had more energy. We were sleeping better, we were eating better, and we were going to the doctor, really for our well visits, not for our sick visits. And my big mom win was that I was able to wean my son off of Adderall forever. And he never went back on it. And I just kept noticing that our kids really over the years were just going to the doctor for well visits. And that, got, as a mom, that really got my attention. So, the more I learned about this powerful information coming my way, the more I realized that this is something to get out there and talk about. So I decided to partner with the company and share Juice Plus, initially in my stolen moments because I didn't have a lot of time. But I was also doing a lot of volunteer work for a public environmental watchdog group in our community. And I was putting in a lot of time, but I wasn't getting a paycheck. And I wanted something of my own and to, create some income for myself and for our family. And so the business made sense to me. And I was already educating my community about health awareness. But I love that I could continue to do this as a busy mom, in these stolen moments, but at my own pace. I could set that pace for myself. And I really like that. So I just feel like this business has helped me extend my reach far beyond what I thought was possible for myself, gave me huge opportunity to meet incredible people like my team here tonight. and it helped me grow personally and financially. And I found a business here where economics and doing good can go hand in hand. You know, they don't have to be mutually exclusive. And just developing a team of like-minded people is just, it's incredibly rewarding. And I always feel like my paycheck is like this measuring stick, you know, for how many conversations, how many people am I really making an impact with their health, and, you know, helping people bridge, you know, this nutritional divide that we have. So I love it. I've been doing this a long time, and I can imagine, you know, what the future holds, but it's exciting, and that I know. So I'm going to turn this over now to a young mom, Chesley Large. She's a QSC with our company. And for the past 10 years, Chesley has been a health and wellness coach and a group fitness instructor. And she has a passion for coaching and helping clients achieve their own health goals. And Chesley has known about Juice Plus since she was in high school. And now it's coming around again for her, as she's a new mom with her baby Lydia, and loves her family time while growing her Juice Plus business. So Lydia, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story?
Thank you, Lolli. So again, I'm Chesley Large. I'm from Carrollton, Georgia, and I'm a health and wellness coach and exercise instructor, group fitness instructor, personal trainer for the last 10 years. And I've been with the Juice Plus company since January of this year, and I am a qualified sales coordinator as well. So I've been very blessed and excited to join this team, this mission, into, you know, just creating a healthier lifestyle for people, really, especially nowadays. So, but like Lolli was saying, that I have been on Juice Plus, started taking that in high school. And, you know, just after high school, things just kind of got busy. Life just got in the way. And I honestly wish that I never stopped taking Juice Plus, because I suffered for 7 years infertility struggles. So, and it was very hard, a very hard time. So, but luckily, you know, we've kind of surpassed that, surpassed it, thankfully. And, but anyway, but it's definitely important for whole food nutrition and, you know, our bodies, whether you're going through infertility problems, mentally, physically, you name it. I've been through, with the 7 years infertility, 3 IUIs, acupuncture appointments, 2 IVF treatments, and a ton of money later. Good gosh, how much money that you spent. But anyway, but luckily, in October of 2020, Lydia came into the world, thankfully. So even though, you know, who wants to have a baby during COVID? Because even though it was kind of good not having any visitors, because that way you could sleep in the hospital. But so, but it was definitely a blessing in disguise. And then after she was here, at the amount of medications that was pumped into my body, there's no telling what, because you couldn't really understand what kind of medications actually it was trying to do to your body, trying to create eggs that, you know, you didn't really have the amount for. And then you're levelizing the estrogen levels in your body. Your hormones are just going wacko. And then you have a baby, and then you're getting more medications in there. So, but again, when she came in October 2020, it was great. You know, it's great to being a mom, but it's hard. And those moms out there, and you give and give and give, and you're like, you know, just something, it's just not right. So I knew that I needed to change something, because I was depleted. I was, you know, depressed. I just couldn't get it together. And so I knew, you know, what is the next step? You know, I'm a mom what is the next step that I need to do for me and my family to keep us safe and healthy? So, and then, Juice Plus comes across with that. So I met my coworker, Sydney, and it just kind of clicked. It clicked again. And I was like, I think this is it. I'm going to give this a go, see what I can do with this. Granted, I'm home with an 18-month-old toddler. So like Lolli was saying, she worked in stolen moments, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So, I'm here to, reach out to inspire healthy living, whether it's a mom on the go or it's, families that are trying to create a healthy lifestyle for them. So this is what I feel like is my calling, for helping those with families and those that are suffering for infertility. If you're on the call, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. So, because you do feel alone actually going through the heartache and the trouble. I mean, gosh, but you're not. So, and I'm definitely here for individuals out there that are looking for whole food nutrition and or just want to make a change in their lives. If they want to join a partnership that will, really feel supportive and loved, and, just help out financially with that. So I'm very thankful for that. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Chesley. And we know nutrition is cumulative, so I can't wait for the future. You're building those new cells every day. So thanks for sharing that. I'm going to go on to Ann Fleming. Ann is a senior sales coordinator and is a graduate of the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, as well as a certified functional nutritionist. Ann is from Duxbury, Mass, and married and has 2 children. Both her boys were asthmatic as children and on meds and inhalers before finding Juice Plus. It transformed not only her health, but her whole family and her husband's. Ann's belief for her clients is go slow and make whatever you are incorporating sustainable, because new habits that last do take time. And she is my proud older sister. And I'm so excited that we get to do this together. So welcome, Ann. You have to unmute.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Lal. As you heard, my name is Ann Fleming. I'm a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I'm a functional health coach and a mom of 2 grown boys. And my husband and I live in Duxbury, Massachusetts. I learned about Juice Plus 15 years ago from my sister Lolli. And although she initially strong-armed me into ordering, and I mean it, she called me and said, "You're ordering this, give me your credit card." And I said, okay. I can say now that besides marrying my husband, it was the most important change I ever made in my life. And there are good reasons that I will explain as I go. As Lolli said, when we started on Juice Plus, the boys were on 3 asthma meds, including inhalers. And I still remember going to the doctor's office, and I'm like, do we need to start with so many? He's like, oh yeah, we start with everything, and then we wean them off, as opposed to like starting a little at a time, which just make no sense to me. But when you're dealing with a doctor, sometimes you just say, okay. So anyway, at that time, and my husband was also on a statin and a prescription antacid. And I always had, a bunch of colds a year that turned into bronchitis, and they just never seemed to resolve themselves without an antibiotic. But even more important back then, I had no understanding of nutrition. And I always looked at food from a calorie perspective, because even though I was an active athlete, I'd always struggled with my weight because I loved to eat and didn't eat a lot of the right things. And furthermore, I thought disease was just something that happened to you out of the blue, bad luck, too bad genes, and that you didn't have any control over what could get you. And I shudder when I think about what I know now, and I want other people to understand that. Your lifestyle choices and what you put in your body have an enormous influence on whether you get sick or not. And if you can keep things in balance in your body, it is really hard for chronic disease to take hold. And that's why Juice Plus is such a fabulous product. Like many other families, we had the initial good returns after starting Juice Plus. We had, after a few months, my kids never had another asthma attack, and frankly, almost never got sick. I think they've each been on an antibiotic maybe once in the last 15 years. My husband was off his prescriptions, and I went down to really 1 small cold a year. But the bigger influence has really been what has happened to us in the long term. And this is so true of everybody that's been in the Juice Plus business for more than 5 or 10 years. It just keeps getting better and better. Our eating habits have changed dramatically over time. And it took time, but it's little by little, you just get it better and better. As a family, we were really now clean eaters. We work hard to maintain our good health. And my boys, who are 25 and 27, who were really terrible eaters back then, and no thanks to me, because I definitely gave them the chicken nuggets and the yucky stuff. But they take their health really seriously, and have a great understanding of nutrition. And I just feel that's a huge victory. And I credit Juice Plus, the product, and the company for starting us all down this path. And I believe that this is going to, carry over for my kids, for their families when they start having them. So that's really, it just feels really good. And as for me personally, my Juice Plus journey has completely changed my life, leading me to an unexpected career in functional nutrition, which I can run alongside my Juice Plus business. Initially decided to start a business because I liked the idea of having a part-time career in place, because my kids were getting ready to leave home, or would be, and I didn't want to commute or limit my time freedom. And I was able to accomplish exactly what I wanted. And I built my business to senior sales coordinator level with a lot of help from my wonderful mentors and team, while at the same time getting excited about the power of food to heal. I loved the science and the research on Juice Plus, and also that boosted my great belief in the product. I listened faithfully on Monday nights to Cheryl's calls and learned so much about the power of nutrition that inspired me to go learn more. So I completed my health and integrated coaching certification, and now recently finished my functional nutrition certification. And even now, after everything I've learned, I feel Juice Plus is still the best and safest product out there for good foundational health, particularly for the many of us struggling with a specific health issue, particularly in autoimmune disease. And I recommend Juice Plus capsules to every client, and I especially like the complete shakes for making a change to their morning habit and really starting the day out right. I grow a tower garden most of the year, like many of you. Love having those herbs and fresh lettuces in the winter, especially. And our family now eats very well, but none of us would miss a day of our Juice Plus. And there's nothing more powerful as a wife and mom than knowing you've changed the course of your family's health for their life and for future generations. And I want that for other people that I work with. I will never stop recommending Juice Plus to my friends, family, and clients. And it's truly been one of the best things I've ever found. And I'm so grateful that my sister introduced me to it 15 years ago. So thank you guys for listening. And now I'm going to hand it over to my wonderful and awesome teammate, Beth-Ann.
You have to unmute. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, here I am. How's everyone doing? Thank you for having me on the call. My name is Beth-Ann. I am a professor at UMass Boston in Boston, and I teach in the exercise, health, and sciences program. I also have been in the health and fitness field for over 25 years. I found Juice Plus, I'm going to say 13 years ago from Anne, and I found Juice Plus it was at a gym, and there was a health fair that Anne was hosting. And my background on health and nutrition probably started when I was in my 20s. I'm going to say my early 20s. My mom was somewhat of a health nut, and my kids were young at the time, and I had health and nutrition through my life. I was fortunate enough to have that exposure. So when my kids were born, I immediately got on to nutrition with my children, but I knew that I needed more. I knew that we were not getting enough. Even back then, when they weren't really talking about the 7 to 13, it was more like 5 to 7. But from what I had seen my mom talk about, and going to health food stores with her in junior high, I knew that there was more, and I knew I needed more. And I didn't know how and where to find it until I saw Anne, and I ran to the table and said, this is what I've been looking for, sign me up, and I need to tell all my friends about this. So for me, what I was looking for at the time was something that I could add more nutrition into my body. So I got one of these hair analyses done. I don't know if you've ever had one, but they take a few clippings of your hair and they send it to a lab and they can test for you what's in your body that is sufficient or what you're depleted in. So we did all kinds of muscle testing and I had this analysis done. And then I started on my adrenals were low and they were telling me all kinds of things. And I had 7 bottles lined up of all these different supplements. And I was like, okay, time out. How often do I take these? How long do I take these? When am I going to be okay? It seemed to be a lot of money. And a lot of money every 3 months to go back and see them and then to determine whether or not I needed them or not. And I thought I need to get this from food, all these things. So I knew intuitions that something was not right. So when I found Anne, the gates opened and I started on my Juice Plus. I started on the Children's Health Study for my children. They took the gummies. They still take it today. They are 27 and 23. Their eating habits are amazing. Like some of the stories you've heard about the children and their sicknesses, they didn't really have a lot of infections, an occasional ear infection here and there, or an occasional cold, but we really saw the doctors for wellness visits. They called us the boring family because we had nothing fantastic to report or someone that they needed to refer us to. So since I've been in the health and fitness field for over 25 years, I'm a personal trainer. I taught Group X. I worked for a large corporate company. I also am certified in Pilates and all the Pilates equipment. I'm not at my studio right now. Otherwise, you would see my equipment behind me. I do invite all of you. When COVID hit, I started a virtual training business. So I'll put in the chat my virtual business. So if anyone on this call would like to come and try a Pilates class on a Saturday morning, or I also teach bar strength, or any of you that have a home studio, I also do personal training and I teach on the reformer. And I tell all of my customers about Juice Plus. And when you're in the health and fitness field, people want to know, well, what do you do? So I do talk about Juice Plus a lot. I also share my website and at the university. And I do have a little blurb on my website about nutrition, although I am not a registered dietitian. So in the scope of my work, I cannot give people a diet to follow. So I talk really about health and nutrition and making healthy choices. So in the scope of in ethics, I can talk about those things. So I share my website with my students. And one of my students, she's an adult learner. So she's going back to school. I think she might be in her 40s now. Her children are a little older. I think she has a 18-year-old, maybe 20, she'd say 3 or 4 children. And she just placed an order for Juice Plus. Unbeknownst to me, I saw it in my email. So word is spreading. And I'm happy that I have all these students in front of me as well to talk about health and nutrition. And I'm getting them at a young age. And that's when I started, when I was 22 or 23, and paying attention to what you put in your body, what you put on your body, the products that you use, the poisons that are out there. So educating these children and adults and anyone that comes to my classes about Juice Plus and the benefits, and how I tell them, they'll ask me about what's the difference. And I'll say, I notice when I don't take it. So if I miss a day or two, for whatever reason, I forget to take it away from me on a long weekend, I can't wait to take my Juice Plus on Monday morning if I forget. So I really notice when I don't take it. So that's my story. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry if I took too long talking, and I'll put in the chat my website if anyone's interested in coming to a class. You're all invited.
Put your link in the chat, Beth-Ann, so people can look you up.
Yeah, I'm going to write it right now. So
Yeah.
www.ba-fitnessfirst.
Perfect. Just put it in the chat. And I'm going to go on to Sue Phinney.
Hi, guys.
Yourself.
I just want to jump in and say, Beth-Ann, I notice when I don't take it too. That's a great point you made. So my name is Sue Phinney. I'm a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company, and I'm a certified health coach through the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. And I live in Duxbury as well. I'm a mom, have 3 kids, 27, 23, and 20. I learned about Juice Plus through Anne, who you heard from as well, who's a great friend. And so years ago, I had a corporate career in the medical sales industry. And at that time, I had 2 kids who were nonstop. I was overtired and looking for a natural way to increase my energy and help my knees, because I've been running since I was 13 and I'm getting old now. So 13 years ago, Anne told me about this, just a simple way to get these 25 raw, colorful plant foods into my family's diets. Because my kids, of course, weren't eating the 9 to 13 either. They were, I didn't know any better. I was giving them French fries and chicken nuggets and carrots and dip, and so this was just an easy way to get more of this nutrition into them through the Healthy Starts program that our company generously has, which provides Juice Plus to kids for free with an adult. So we all jumped on board, and the changes just started right away. My kids never got sick, really, never missed school, which was huge. My runner's knee pain is gone. All my kids have competed in athletics between lacrosse and football and basketball. And I personally noticed better endurance. I noticed that their recovery from their workouts was much better. And personally, for me, my visits to the dentist, because I'm a white knuckled dentist patient, they became a breeze because my gums don't bleed anymore, because the cleanings aren't painful. And I know it's all because of the reduction in inflammation in my mouth. And to top it off, we all crave more fruits and vegetables because we're putting more into our body. And over time, I became attracted to the business because I felt like I just was sharing it already. And I felt compelled to tell everybody I knew, moms and even seniors. I wish I had said yes right away. So I said yes, maybe a year and a half into it. And I knew I wanted to get back into some type of meaningful work in the wellness industry that would have a positive impact on future generations. And what really solidified this mission of mine was witnessing my dad, who passed away from cancer, and a year later, my mom from dementia. And I can't help but think that their diet and lifestyle contributed to their disease. And from all I've learned through working with the company, the education that I've got, even though I studied biology in college, there's so much education that you get through this company. I know that your DNA is not your destiny, for the most part, and your family health history doesn't have to be your own. And I also work with a local internist in Duxbury here as her wellness coordinator. She recommends Juice Plus instead of a medication to her patients in some cases. And I work with her, and in that regard, I get to help even more people, which has been really fun. I love this business because I love my time flexibility. I like doing what I want to do when I want to do it. So the home-based business was really truly a no-brainer. It was just finding the right one. And it's been so wonderful connecting people to solutions and showing them how to practice prevention and live their best life with these simple tools. And because I have unlimited earning potential, I get to dream big. I'm taking my kids to Italy this summer to finally celebrate their graduations, thanks to this amazing business. So, and I just continue to grow and learn, and I'm ever so grateful to be part of this community. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sue. Aw. So Carol, with that, should we just close and we'll go on to the training? Thanks all the speakers so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for sharing your stories tonight. We're here every Thursday sharing stories, except next Thursday is conference, right? So we're not going to be here next Thursday, but we'll be back on, I think it's the 28th. Yes. So we'll be back here on Thursday, the 28th. And we do invite you to stay. Lolli is going to do a training session. So I'm going to end this recording, and then